System Security Setup. MaxxTraxx features a versatile security system that gives employees access to various functions dependent on their login credentials. This built-in feature limits users to what they can view and modify. Setup takes a few quick steps and is easily maintained. To turn system security on or off, we'll go to the Setups menu, which is the small gear icon in the upper right of the MaxxTraxx window. From the Setups window, go to the General column and click on line A, Company Information. In the General tab, note the System Security box is currently turned off. Do not turn on system security until you have reviewed the various security groups, permissions, and members. You could cause a situation where no users have access to certain functions. Exit the Company Information screen and go back to the Setups menu. This time click on line D, Security Groups. There are 4 security groups built into MaxxTraxx. First, there is accounting for the users who handle writing checks, payroll, accounts receivable, and money matters. Next is administrators, which should have complete access to all functions. This security group is appropriate for owners or store managers. After that are the service advisors and technicians security groups. If you want to set a default group that all employees will initially belong to, highlight the group and then right-click. Scroll to the Set as Default line and click on it. To view or edit what permissions each group has, as well as what members there are, highlight the group and click on the Edit button. Notice that in the accounting group there are only a small number of permissions. Most of them are related to banking, payroll, and general ledger functions. Let's say in this case we wanted to turn on more permissions to the accounting group. Find the permission or group of permissions that you want to grant access for. Highlight the permission line and right-click it. You can now grant or remove permission to that line, the entire group of permissions, or the complete list of permissions. In this case, we'll grant all in this group. Notice that the lines in the group are now checked. You can view which employees are in the group by clicking on the Members tab. If you want to create a new group, that is a simple process. Click the Add Group button. Once the security group window opens, type in the group description or name. Then grant the various permissions needed for that group. There is a second way to create a new group that some might find easier. Find an existing group that is close to the level of security you want for the new group. Then highlight that group and click the Copy button. You can now edit the name and permissions as needed. When finished editing, click the OK button. There are a couple crucial things to remember. Before you turn on system security, make sure that at least one person has the role of administrator. This should be someone that is there most of the time that the shop is open. Also, the administrator should have a complete set of permissions. Open the administrator group, right-click in the Granted column, then click Grant All. Next, let's look at how to set up logins, passwords, and assign employees to groups. Go to the Payroll drop-down and click on the Employee List button. Highlight an employee and open the record by double-clicking it or clicking the Edit button. The employee record opens to the General page. Find the User section. It will have boxes for employee code, login password, and security group. Assign the code and password of you and your employees' choosing. At the Security Group box, click on the Select button. This opens the same security groups window we saw before. Highlight the group you are assigning to that employee and click Select. Note that you can also add, edit, delete, or copy groups from this window. With at least one administrator assigned and all employees assigned to groups with login codes and passwords, it's time to turn security on. Go back to the Setups menu and find the Company Information line again. This time, uncheck the box to turn on the system security. Every computer will have to close out of MaxxTraxx and then log in with someone's security credentials to fully activate security on each PC. Once all the workstations have been logged back in using employee credentials, we can see the security features in action. Let's imagine a shop manager was working on this computer but had to be away for a while. They would log off by either pressing the F9 key or clicking on the door icon near the upper right of MaxxTraxx. Please note the icon only appears after security is turned on. At this point, nobody can use MaxxTraxx on this particular computer without logging in. Now suppose another employee logged into this computer and their credentials did not allow certain functions, like say, writing a check. They would get this message. At this point, the manager would have to log in to allow that function to take place. Remember though, once the manager logs in, anyone that uses that computer will have their access. That is why we always recommend logging off MaxxTraxx when you are away from your workstation. There are over 150 different security permissions in MaxxTraxx. Trying to keep your confidential data secure, but at the same time not hampering your employees can be a challenge. Setting up security does take some time, but if you do it carefully and keep it simple, it will work seamlessly. We hope you found the preceding video helpful. MaxxTraxx team members are readily available to provide personal assistance via several methods as shown here, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Thank you for watching.